Star Wars. That's Bill Murray.
It is.
James Azalea. This is
Brock Smink.
This is the 85th episode of the Rebel Scum podcast. We have been coming to you pre-taped for 85 weeks now. Coming on 2 years. In 3 episodes, you guys get to watch us get murdered by IG-88. So that'll be exciting.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Shout out to Zach Kaufman, who is the winner of our Patreon contest.
Wow, congratulations.
So if you didn't know, everybody on Patreon was entered into a draw to win Star Wars The Last Jedi. Contest closed whenever we decided. And we put all the names together, and we drew the name out. So Zach Kaufman, we will be emailing you shortly so you can tell us how you want your version Francais edition of The Last Jedi.
How close was I to winning?
Very, actually. You came in second. I got The Last Jedi last night on digital copy. It freaked me out for a minute, though, because the digital copy poster, for those in the south of us in America and those in England and across the world might not understand this, but all of our DVDs, Blu-rays, digital copies, they are dual language. They are French and English. You can also get like Spanish, Portuguese usually, and
just those languages. That's it.
No, but on the DVDs, that's usually what you get.
Yeah,
I don't know what else you get. Anything else? Anyway, so when I was so excited, I pressed play. I tweeted it out, but I didn't even notice when I tweeted it. And the poster, the image thumbnail, is the French poster for The Last Jedi. And I was like, uh-oh. I don't understand French. So
Sacre bleu.
I was really terrified that I bought the French version by accident, which sometimes is easier than you would think on iTunes. Because if you go to the cheap section, like I always do, they're all like English titles, and then the French titles sometimes will have a little VF in brackets. But anyway, I got
very French.
Yeah, for very French. I got it last night. I watched the Praetorian Guard scene 4 times. I did. And then I skipped to just parts that I wanted to watch. I'll watch them in full later today. And there's a documentary, The Jedi and the Director. Ooh. It screened at South by Southwest with Ryan Johnson and Mark Hamill in attendance. And I am super excited to watch it. And maybe I'll tweet Ryan Johnson a question live.
Ooh. Do it.
Why not? I've been having good luck on Twitter lately. What's the director of Bridesmaids, Paul Feig? Paul Feig, yeah. He liked my most recent tweet because I acknowledged his amazing performance in the movie Ski Patrol. George Lopez is also in Ski Patrol, as is half the cast, the adult cast of Sabrina the Teenage Witch. It's a great movie, Ski Patrol. Have you ever seen it?
No, I don't think so.
It's so good. They did Ski School a few years later, but it wasn't as good as Ski Patrol. Let's go back. Let's talk about Star Wars. Here's something. I think this was on Forbes, probably Forbes, because I don't know if you've read Forbes lately, but it's turned into like a junk pile of clickbait material. No offense.
Like the website or the magazine?
Well,
Forbes has a magazine, right?
I'm sure the magazine's fine, but I'm talking more about the website has been like Solo. We don't need Solo, and it's just like a guy bitching about Solo, and I'm like, this is Forbes magazine. I don't want to. I don't come to Forbes to hear you bitch about something you put in a blog for free.
Why don't we need Solo?
Oh, because he's a little crybaby. Because his last article probably got 14 views, and he needed some. That's why. Anyway, they put a thing about is Solo in trouble, and this was a different author, so thank God. But it was this one has a little bit of validity. In that, obviously, there was a backlash, minor, whatever, however you view on it, of The Last Jedi.
Right.
But now, this controversy about the artwork that we talked about last week that's come about, and they're like, are all of these factors, and plus, if people start finding about the director changes and the trouble behind this, is this going to start to deter moviegoers from seeing Solo, especially in a crowded environment like the summertime?
I don't know. Yes, no. I mean, it's not officially summer yet at that point.
No, that's the summer season starts like in April now.
It starts on June 21st. But anyways.
Not the movies.
But I don't think so. I think the only thing that will affect Han Solo is people's distaste for The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
If they are going to follow up with what they said, where they don't want to watch this anymore, and Disney ruined my childhood, blah, blah, blah. That's only effect. Nobody besides us and people like us care that like the director got fired. I'm sure most people that are going to see Han Solo will be like, oh, they got fired? Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying it isn't cause for concern, but Lord and Miller, as great as they are, they got replaced by Ron Howard. Like, it's not going to be terrible. So it's just a matter of... I mean, if the story isn't interesting, that's a whole other thing, but I don't see it to be a terrible movie. It's going to be a movie. It's the matter of if you like it or not is up in the air. But yeah, I don't think so. But yeah, it is interesting, all these little things that are plaguing the production of this film. Like the CD thing the artwork last week was like, what?
Yeah. Everything's stacked against them. Hashtag third best Star Wars film. It's happening.
For sure.
It's going to be there. For people that are boycotting because of Last Jedi, that's their choice. They can do that. I don't. But I just don't know. Like, I was talking to Josh of the Den Nerds about Spider-Man 3 the other day.
Yeah.
Because he hated Spider-Man 3 so much that it affects the other two movies for him. And I didn't hate Spider-Man 3 all that much.
No.
But I guess if people have that mindset and they feel that way about The Last Jedi, because I guess you could probably argue that The Last Jedi, where Spider-Man 3's downfall and The Last Jedi's downfall, quote unquote, are completely different things. Whereas one, they just were like, here's, Spider-Man 3 is just like, I don't even know, it's bloated. Whereas The Last Jedi is like, they took, the Luke thing, the Leia thing, Rey. It's character driven, and I think that's different. So I think people will be even harsher towards that, and they have been with Luke, right? Like, hey, you ruined my character of 40 years, blah blah. He's not your character, but but you know what I mean. Like, so I mean, I could, and if that's a mindset that people have, I could totally see them just being like, well, nope. You took me for a ride last time, and you're not taking me this time. And Solo's the one that's going to be affected by that. And that's why I think it makes sense coming out in May, because in May, again, I don't think there's any way a movie in May, aside from, well, now Avengers isn't even May, will make $1 billion right now. Yeah. There's just too much. Deadpool 2, which, by the way, the reviews apparently are great after those test screenings.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Someone had another blogger, and he tweeted that it was terrible. And actually, Stephen Weintraub from Collider.com has said, nope, he heard that the first screening had 90%, scored a 90.
Wow, that's
And the
good.
second screening was over the moon. But apparently there is I don't know why I'm talking about this, but there is a twist in it, though, that that's very Mandarin-ish, and they said that pisses people off.
Fair.
Anyway.
I mean, that movie, I'll say this and we'll move back to Star Wars. But that movie has a character called Cable in it who is from the future. So it's going to be a convoluted. No. It's literally in the trailer. I'm from the future. So, it's probably going to be a different type of movie. I'm excited for it.
But it's just, the summer is stacked.
Oh,
movies
God,
don't make it. That's why when they, for Deadpool, when they announced Deadpool, I was like, wow, Ryan F. Well, obviously, they couldn't come out this February because of Black Panther. But, I thought it was weird. So I think, it's smart because now it could come out and it can make $700 million and Disney can be like, no, that's a success because if you look at it, Avengers made $400 gazillion billion. Deadpool did what it did. Incredibles will do well.
Will Deadpool's success be considered a success by Disney? Even though, they haven't fully... Have they fully purchased Fox? We know what I mean. I know it's
No, they don't
Fox.
have it for a few more months. It's
right, because they didn't finance this at all. They bought it while
it has
they were
nothing to do with them. Yeah. Deadpool is actually, I think, one of the weird parts of that deal is, and I think a lot of people are worried about what Disney will do, and I think Disney has kind of hinted at they won't touch Deadpool. Yeah. But I don't know. I just either way, Disney can cloud the failing or the strength of Solo in their Marvel movie, in their Pixar movie, in their what else is coming up this summer by Disney?
By Disney? Ant-Man and the Wasp.
What will make more, Ant-Man and the Wasp or Han Solo?
Ooh. Both two things that are kind of dark horses when you think about it.
Yeah, that's and no one's really talking about Ant-Man and the Wasp in a way that because Black Panther is making way too much money for me. I mean, if they want to give it to me, I'm fine as well. I mean, they're making a lot of money. So Avengers is going to... And you know the marketing's changing for Infinity War to focus on Black Panther. You know that's coming.
Oh, for sure.
They're like, re-edit that
Yeah.
and put Black Panther in. Yeah. Who would have thought Black Panther would be bigger than Spider-Man? Seriously. That's crazy. It's amazing. But Fatigue said it, and then there's Ant-Man.
That plays into like this, what I just said about Han Solo. It's like, the thing that will affect it is fans being pissed off and like, oh, I didn't like Last Jedi. I'm not, or not even fans, just people. There's like, I didn't really like Last Jedi. It was not the Star Wars movie I expected, so I'm not gonna go see another movie like that. Now, I mean, I know Infinity War is in between Black Panther and Ant-Man and the Wasp, but do you think there'll be a somewhat similar or reverse effect where like Black Panther is so good that we're like, well, I'll go see a Marvel movie. So, like, will that affect the numbers for that, or have no effect? Probably no effect.
I think I'm actually going to say no effect on this one because Black Panther's one thing. He's in. I almost said Civil War. He's in Infinity War.
Yeah,
but he's not going to be an Ant-Man.
No.
And Ant-Man's a sequel to a movie that either you liked or you like. I think most people know if they're seeing Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Now, Solo, on the other hand, like Last Jedi could affect Solo. The question for me now is, in a year and a half, Episode 9, are the wounds of The Last Jedi healed for people that are really like angered and mad by it? Are they healed? And they're like, screw you, Solo, and they don't see Solo. But then Episode 9 comes, and J.J. Abrams works his magic, and Snoke's in the first trailer and goes, oh, I was not dead. I'm Snoke.
Just snoking, and then he keels over.
That's our new show, Snoking Around. It's a sequel to Clone Wars. But you know what I mean? Like, because JJ has the magic. All of his movies are like because I would argue the trailers for The Last Jedi weren't as strong as the trailers for The Force Awakens. Whatever you thought of each movie, I think the trailers, though, there was a wow. A wow factor in Force Awakens, which the movie as a whole has more of. And that's the tone of the movies ultimately. But because they're different tones. I'm not saying one's better than the other. But you got to think Episode 9 will have that wow factor. And then because it's a year and a half, in that year and a half, you're going to have, the Avenger movie, you're going to have Ant-Man movie. What else is coming out? Help me out here. What other big movies are coming out? Another Spider-Man probably. You're going to have another, I'm sure a DCU movie will bomb somewhere in there.
Yeah.
And you'll have a bunch of movies that maybe the hatred for Last Jedi will kind of sway. And then this new trailer will pop up. And then you'll be like, oh, it's been long enough. They got their crap together. I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in. And then the people like us that like The Last Jedi that are all... I'm just like, Han Solo is in 50 days. And then I'm like, and on this hand, I've got a watch that says Episode 9 is in 390 days. Like, I don't know the actual days. I hope.
No, I know what you mean, man.
You know what I mean? Like, we're already in. But it's like, I just think this strategy was smart. 5 months Solo, because it's not going to crush anyway.
Yeah.
And then a year and a half, let them all kind of, let the past die. Let them kind of ease away from it. And then get reinvigorated by J.J. Abrams' Episode 9.
What a time to be alive. It's fantastic. That all those movies are coming out at the same, like those three Avengers, Deadpool, and Han Solo, within weeks. Like,
and then Jurassic World.
Of each other. Yes, Jurassic
and
World.
Incredibles 2.
World. Yeah, and Wreck-It Ralph at some point.
That's November.
But it's coming out. Like, there's some, like, it's crazy. Disney's going to make so much money this year. And it's like, we live in this time where, like, somebody owns everything. And it's not comparable, but Netflix, I was reading, they have, like, 80 TV shows ordered for next year or something like that.
They're doing 700
like 100 movies or something like that. And when you look at the listing, most of the times, like, this is what's coming this month. It's like Netflix the original, Netflix the original, Netflix the original.
I'm not even gonna lie. I was on Netflix the other night, and I just wanted to look at the original series on Netflix because I've made this very clear on Netflix. I watch Ninja Turtles 2 Out of the Shadows. That's pretty much it. And then,
you heard it here first. It's a good movie.
And then I love it. But other than that, I'm like, what do they offer me that I can't get on anywhere else.
Right.
Like, what can I watch here that I'm not going to
Yeah,
see
good
somewhere
point.
else?
Very good point.
And then I switch to Aaron's account and I watch it from there so that they don't think I watch anything other than Ninja Turtles. I want all my suggestions to be Ninja Turtles stuff going in.
Ninja Turtles.
But I don't watch Force Awakens or Rogue One because I own those.
Yeah.
And so I just watch them where I own them anyway.
And then I have the different effect where, like, I still don't own Rogue One because why? Because it's on Netflix. I would like to own it at some point. I just don't buy things anymore.
That is.
But that being said, last week I bought a book through digital. So
was that your first digital book?
Yeah.
Changed your life.
Changed my life. So yeah, I don't know. It's a fun time to be alive because you're like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Anyways, Star Wars.
That was awesome. Let's talk about Reylo.
Reylo.
Little Reylo. People love Rey and Kylo. They have shipped them as Reylo. Whether you think it'll be romantic or not, let's not get carried away on anything here. Either side. Like, we're going to keep this. Because I think Reylo, Kylo Ren and Rey is what but I'm just going to call them Reylo. I felt I did a video with Josh. Their end game for me. That's how the saga, Star Wars saga, is going to end with Reylo in some capacity. I'm not saying it's going to end with a sunset and a kiss. But they are going to have to work together to save the galaxy, and that is what and look, their fates, as you can read if you're reading this, are intertwined, as you've mentioned several times.
Yeah, I mean, everybody knows my stance on it. Like, the romantic part of this does not make any sense. It'd be great, but whatever. But the way you put it there, I could buy that. Like, you often start a movie, maybe a franchise, or just something that with a lot of lore to it, where it's like these two warring clans or whatever fought for generations, and then they found some way to agree upon it, and that's whatever. So why couldn't it be Rey and Kylo finding some kind of happy medium where they both can sort of do their thing and recreate whatever you want to call it, maybe the Jedi, maybe the Sith, I don't know. The new era of the Force. They are the two things that bring it together. And because of that, they have to have some sort of relationship. Not romantic, just a relationship, because they need each other. I could like that. And then your next trilogy is
Force babies.
Yeah. No, not, and like, yeah, but you know what I mean? Like, they're mentioned. They're not in the movies, possibly. Or if they are, they're super old. Like, you know, put a couple generations in between. But then I mean, we always talk about the chosen one. Why can't these be the new?
Yeah, dual chosen one.
What would you even call it? Like the
dual one.
The duality? The new duality?
Duality.
Yeah.
I just think, however you slice it, Rey is the chosen one. And they're not calling her the chosen one. But she is the chosen. Like, she's Anakin. Like, that's all. Like, she is exactly Anakin. She might not be a Force birth, but the Force is using her as a vessel, and it's made clear in the book, if I remember. It was in The Last Jedi. Is it Force Awakens? Bloodline? It's made clear that she is a vessel for the light side of the Force.
Right.
Because Kylo's so... And that's what The Last Jedi is about, right? Is where darkness rises light to meet it, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Like... And that's my one issue with all of everything going down is like it's such, I don't know. I feel like that is a cop-out. I wish there was more to it. True. Than just like, because what Anakin was something completely different. Now it's like, well, Kylo's so dark, a light side needs to come. Randomly, this person. Like, why? Like, I get, the random is fine, but how she comes into this, it's like, it's weird. It's like, it just feels like it's so, pun intended, forced in a way. And I'm really hoping that 9 we learn so much more. And
me too.
Like, about everybody except for Kylo. I think we all know. we're all good on Kylo. Yeah, I mean, look, he's the star. Yeah. And like, we know a lot about Kylo, but I want Rey to be fleshed out more, and I want Finn to be fleshed out more, and I want Rose to either be in it or not. Poe, I think Poe's pretty fleshed out now.
Yeah, but like, it's a lot. When you think about it, it's just like, oh yeah, he was like not in the first movie,
and then he's like a lead, which is also weird when you look at how Rian Johnson wrote this before The Force Awakens was finished. It's like he found a piece of that movie and exploited it.
Yeah,
that maybe somebody else wouldn't have seen. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's what I think is really cool about. One of the things that's cool about having a different person come in and do these movies is they view it differently. So at some points there might be continuity issues, and you're like, well, where's the connective tissue? But on another chance like this, you get something that probably wouldn't have happened if somebody else came in and did it.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
I don't know. Somebody has got to get the story group in front of a camera and be like, what is going on? They don't really explain, but it's just like, yeah, no, this is what we told them to do. Or, and not told them, but, like, you have a story group, and it's sort of like, what is happening? But I still have faith in said story group. Look at Last Jedi, the novelization. I'm like, that was fantastic. And I'm like, this is it. Like, so somebody knows what's going on. Somebody has a good idea of what to do.
Yeah, they know. What I'm curious about is, look, there are deleted scenes. I started watching some, and the Phasma one was one where I was like, I like the idea, but I didn't find the execution.
Right.
But there are other ones in there. Like there's a Rose one. It's like 4 seconds.
Of course.
And I don't really like part of it, but should I just spoil what it is?
Sure.
It's Hux and Rose, and he's like bad mouthing her, and he's like, "You bleed," blah blah blah, and then she bites his finger.
Oh, so like in the book. Oh, cool. So it is, yeah. Nice.
So I'm like, okay,
I like that.
and it's like 4 seconds, but it makes Rose's character better.
Yeah,
you know. What I mean?
No, good point.
Yeah, and then there's Finn and the Stormtrooper, and it's like, who was in the? There are questions I have about the editor of this movie, and like sitting in that edit suite and making the decisions that were made to cut some of the stuff that was. It's a 2.5 hour long movie. I don't buy cutting 4 seconds for length. I don't buy it.
Yeah.
It's 4 seconds. Cut out Luke milking the cow.
yeah.
But
we know it's weird, but like
they need something in there. But like I don't like I just that it's like when you look at it, it's like when I talk about Amazing Spider-Man 2, and I'm like, there are deleted scenes that make this movie so much better.
Yeah.
And people argue with me on that, but that's fine. But like, it's the same. I'm like, man, just little things here and there. Because like I just said earlier, Rose, I'm so indifferent towards that character. Kelly Marie Tran is fine in the role. She's very bubbly. She's fine in the role. But the role is nothing. And this scene, I was like, oh, that's cool.
What about through the book though? Obviously, the book adds to it, but like you're able to hear her inner thoughts. What does it change anything, or is it still not enough?
She's way better in the book. She's better in the book the kind of way Malcolm's better in Jurassic Park. But you know, like it's just.
Yeah.
But nobody's gonna read the book. It's the difference between I like Jurassic Park is Jurassic Park was based on a book, and we said this last week, where it felt like the movie was based off the book.
What if there was more backstory about Paige and Rose? So like, I feel like their story when you read about like, because they keep putting that in stuff, comics, the books, other little like YA novels, and I'm like, yeah, this is interesting. Like their relationship is interesting.
But I think for me personally, in the movie, I kind of got that. I mean, it's nice.
Oh no, I'm not saying the movie doesn't, but you know what? Like a little bit more, because you don't really get the sense that like you don't know anything about Paige. You just know that they're connected and they're very close. But like her pushing Rose, that like Rose is kind of reluctant to do a lot of things because she's. Yeah. Would that add to it? I mean, it'd make her more of a character.
I think Rose actually at the beginning, if you saw Rose and Paige before Paige goes to war,
right?
Go to war? Is that to drop bombs?
Yeah, the bombing run.
I also side bar. People being pissed off about the gravity in space.
Like the Mary Poppins floating thing?
No, but the bombs being able to drop.
Oh,
they had to retcon that there was magnets or something in it. I just want to. And look, if you had a problem with it, that's fine. My stance on it, I've got to give everybody, thousands of you, for months have been asking my. I didn't care. I never even thought of it because I was watching Star Wars.
Yeah.
Where 3 movies had a main character named Jar Jar Binks, and crazier things have happened in space. So that wasn't one. Look, the Leia floating in space, I didn't necessarily have a problem with the execution. Again, the execution was, that scene. I didn't even watch it when I got I was like, I accidentally saw Luke milk the teats, and I did not watch but I was skipping to the Praetorian Guard scene. You have to remember that also. I wanted to watch that, and I wanted to just see a little snippets here, and I wanted to watch the end with the books on the Falcon. By the way, missed them. Well, I was talking on Messenger, and I looked. I was like, "Ah, come on!" Like, come on. But yeah, like that part. I had a bigger. The bombs though, ending this side, but I never had a problem with that because I never thought of it because. You know, when people complain, well, parsecs is a length of that. I'm like, who cares? You don't even. But the thing is, in this galaxy that they're talking about, a parsec might not mean what it means here on Earth. Yeah, exactly. Like, just stop trying to make it real.
Stop it.
Stop, guys. It's
Seagulls,
fictional.
Stop it now.
You can't have fun if you won't allow the movie to have fun. I mean, and by the way, hashtag I still love porks.
Oh God, yes.
Because I wasn't going to watch any porg scenes, and I had the scene on where he throws the lightsaber, and the minute the porg came on the screen, I was like, I forgot how much I love them. They are awesome.
I was at a store downtown Toronto, and they had the Chase Funko Pop of the porg, and it looks exactly like the one you would get anywhere, like EB or GameStop. But its mouth is open, and that's why it's a Chase. It's not even Phlox, you know. But it was $40. But I was like,
so you bought two?
Like, no.
Where is it?
Oh, I know. I put it on the Rebel Scum dime. But yeah, well, we really went on a tangent there.
We did.
Reylo.
Reylo. That's the theme song I wrote.
The duality part, I think I can buy too, because it's sort of like there is an interesting thing happening in Last Jedi, which I hope is for a reason. But I've said it before. The whole Finn and Rose storyline, yeah, it goes nowhere, but I think that's kind of the point, because it's sort of like, okay, so this is what we're going to do. Like, it's sort of the hijinks of, like, you know, in A New Hope, they're like, we're going to go and save the princess. She's in this massive Death Star or battleship, and we're going to break her out. And they do it, and you're like, a lot of things could have happened wrong. They could have got shot at any point. But put that when you have that logic, you can't enjoy the movie. So that same logic, when you apply it to Rose and Finn. Sorry, I don't know why I paused there. Rose and Finn. It's sort of like, okay, your idea could work, but it doesn't work. It all fails. It all just go. I guess at the end of the day, you get rid of Phasma. Is sort of the point.
If they even got rid of her.
Exactly. No, totally correct. But I think, but that seems like that sort of lame attempt. But then when you bring it back to like what Rose says at the end of the movie, it's like we do this. It's God. What it was like. We're fighting, and all. No, that doesn't work anymore. But anyways, it's sort of like.
For love.
They're trying to fight, and it's like, what is this fight about? It's not about getting revenge. It's not about being the more right person. It's just like, we're just trying to survive. So it's like, it's not about who's in power. It's like just protecting the people that mean something to you. So to go off on these like hijinks, like we're gonna sneak off this thing in this slow moving car chase, and then go to a planet, and like it's like, wait, what? But like, of course. In Star Wars, you can get across the galaxy in seconds, right?
Yeah.
So, like, my point of bringing it up is if Kylo and Rose are ushering a new era of the Force, maybe there's going to be an ushering in of the new type of status quo in the galaxy politically. I don't know. Maybe we will start a new trilogy where it's not all war-torn, whatever. It's like, okay, like, maybe it's more like Star Trek where it's like, we're out for diplomacy now. So it's like, we fought for so long. How can we make things better? Or like, what's over here? Let's go discover this. I would be totally in on something like that. Of course, it's called Star Wars, but then we ran into that problem. So
the Canto Bite thing. I got to go into this.
Mm-hmm.
It is the worst thing I'm just joking. Okay, I don't like how their plan is dumb, but I'm on board.
Yeah.
Maz Kanata shoehorned in. I'm not on board. The way that they decide, they're like, we're gonna take a ship and fly to that's lazy.
And it's almost like pointed out when they're like, okay, so like here's the ship and here's us, and then we turn it off and go pew. It's like that's not a plan.
No, it's like there was I think this is part of maybe Rian Johnson was forced in time or whatever. But
Yeah,
there are
maybe,
execution issues, is what I'll call them.
Oh, for sure.
Anyway, that aside, on Candlebite itself, I don't find to be a waste of time, and the idea is not. Look, because nothing comes about from Candlebite. Everyone's like, it's such a waste. Candlebite is a waste, and the casino planet, nothing happens. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
However, something does happen. Benicio del Toro, who got robbed of an Oscar nom for this, I loved him in this movie.
Yeah.
I like to stutter, and I don't care.
Yeah.
They meet him, whether he's who they're supposed to meet or not.
Yeah.
Fine, but they meet him, and he brings them information that I think will play out in 9, and that is, and if it doesn't, then it's just, well, we all know that it's that everybody, that the so-called good guys, and the so-called bad guys are being funded by the same people.
Yes.
And I think that is something that when I watched it, I was like, okay, this is a commentary on life. That's how I took it at first.
Yeah.
But when you look at it, you say, okay, that could be a seed that is planted. Because who is the real villain in all of this? Now, Benicio del Toro doesn't make it sound like those people are the villains. He's just kind of like, they do what they do to survive.
Yeah,
They fund these people, they fund these people. Okay. But if Rey and Kylo Ren need to get to the bottom of something, these people that are funding all this could serve a bigger purpose.
Yeah.
However, I hope Episode 9 doesn't deal too much in politics. I don't think J.J. Abrams' strong suit is in that.
No.
He does not like the prequels.
Yeah.
So I don't think we'll get too much of that. But I think that is a strong case to be made going forward in 9 and how those, because otherwise Candlebite is kind of like a half hour of the movie that does not need to be there.
Yeah.
Something needed to be learned there. Nothing was learned there except for that piece of.
You get. They meet Benicio del Toro, and that leads them to the ship, and then we get to see Broom Boy.
Yeah.
But, that could be... the end scene with Broom Boy doesn't really need any of that. It can just occur. Because it's, kids that know the story, and they're telling about it.
Yeah, and if the whole point of Candlebite is just to show us Broom Kid, they could have put Broom Kid anywhere.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Because they could have just easily been like, Tatooine, here's some kids on Tatooine knowing about Luke Skywalker who came from Tatooine, which I think is actually even more powerful.
Yeah.
I just thought of that.
But yeah, no, it fits in with what I'm trying to say. That's what I mean. There's... Maybe I'm just trying to find meaning in those things. But, there's a constant touch on, it's war. There's not going to be any... There's no good part of war. It's just, who wins, who can outlast the other ones.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
and that will be Rey and Kylo Ren making Force babies.
Exactly.
And that is how you keep the Skywalker name going.
Yep.
And that is the plot of episode 14, 15, and 16. Never tell me the oops.
Never tell me the odds.
Today's odds are brought to us by the Nerdy News Roundup, where Josh will send us each $400,000 in pesos. Cuban.
Yeah, man.
Cuban non-convertible
He
pesos.
will send us mustache wax so you can make your mustache as curly and hipster as possible. He still does that, right? He used to curl the thing. I feel like when we met him the first time, he had real curly mustache.
The first and only time.
The first and only king.
Today's odds are not brought to us by anybody. We are not a sponsored show, but
Thanks.
we will still get flagged for it. Odds of Rey and Kylo Ren teaming up to defeat the real enemy in episode 9. The real enemy, of course, being Supreme Leader Snoke's master. Bloke.
It's just what's the... Is it Unicron? Yeah, Unicron from the Transformers. He's like, I am a floating planet. You had me until
Bloke?
the real... The real... What was the last part?
Enemy.
I don't
Well,
know.
if it's not... Well, then who's the enemy? If
I would assume... I see it as...
Hux.
Yeah, Hux. Actually, if Hux is the villain in the next one, I am totally cool with that because I want more Hux. He's a very interesting character. Reading about him and then watching the movies makes me want to read Aftermath because his father's in that one, right?
His father shows up in the second one.
The second one. Yeah. I want to know
Brendel.
more about it. And like it's mentioned in the novelization. I'm going to go high because I think, they are going to come together for some reason. I think when we just talked about it. So I'm going to go 78%. Ooh,
What if I went 0?
You can do whatever you want. You're an adult.
I really think they will, but for just so we can come back to this in 2 years, 0.
I just hope whatever the problem is that they have to come together isn't something new that they think of for 9. Like something. That's why Hux is a perfect use because he's been in all 3 other movies.
Well, Hux and the backers of the First Order. And
that'd be cool. I would love that because then you could explain a lot of the.
I'm gonna go 70. You know what? No, 0. I don't like. Look, I'm all. I want them to team up, but I don't want it. I don't want them to team up because I don't want it to be cliche. I really want Supreme Leader Kylo Ren to just be the greatest leader ever. I've said that forever.
Why waste time having them fight something? Why can't the fight be whatever's keeping them apart from doing what they're doing? So, I'll go high because I think something's going to happen. But, yeah.
Sweet. The next odd, the odds of, and this is my favorite one ever, the odds of Warwick Davis getting dialogue in episode 9. JJ?
He's been in most of the movies. Come on, JJ.
Hey.
Do it.
I know you're watching. He sent an email last week. It was very nice of him. Look.
He's funny. He's charming.
I know you tried to get rid of Ving Rhames in Mission Impossible. I know you tried. But you will not do that to Warwick Davis. You will not. He will have 100% have dialogue in episode 9. He will play a Skywalker.
That being said, 0%.
Yeah, 0 for sure.
That sucks.
The odds of Ving Rhames appearing in episode 9. He'll be at the very end drinking a margarita or whatever it was. And the odds of a Lando spin-off film starring
Donald Glover?
Yep. No, Danny Glover.
I would love it. I just watched the new episode of Atlanta. I don't know if I can't remember when it comes out, but I watched this second episode and I'm like, this is genius.
I just watched Spider-Man Homecoming and I was like, let him play Lando.
Let him play Prowler. No, I would love it. I'm gonna go 30% though. I love Donald Glover.
Look, if you love Donald Glover but you hate The Last Jedi and you're gonna boycott Solo, you are ruining the chances of a Lando spinoff. If you watch the Solo movie and it makes $3 billion and everyone goes, well, Lando was the best part, he'll get a movie. So
sure.
Boom, boom, boom. The more you know. That's what that is.
And then it opens like The Hobbit where it's like Billy D. Williams remembering things. It opens on, so that's how you get Billy D. Williams back in.
I hope that Billy, that needs to be an odd because he needs to come back.
Yeah, it would be nice.
It's just, you know, and I know, I think you've said it, but it's fan service. So was Akbar.
Yeah.
And Lando arguably did more in the movies than Akbar.
Oh, big time.
I mean, Akbar says it's a trap and looks cool. Lando, like
you could put Lando in the background, but then at the same note, like Billy D. Williams just showing up to be background, he'd just be standing there staring directly at the camera. And we're like, why? Like I'm an actor.
No, but he would do it.
Yeah. He would do it, but you know what I mean?
No,
like,
you give him a couple lines like, well. And I'm in.
Well, hello.
Yeah, I would love that. Oh, man. I'd be in. All right, let's move on.
He'd be like,
oh, no, it's not.
You missed that.
Hollow News.
Hey, do you like baseball? I like baseball. Sort of. The minor league team, the Minnesota Red Wings. I should probably open that. Michigan Red Wings. They, like most baseball teams, or sports teams in general, I mean, what a time to be alive in when most sports teams have a Star Wars night. They have it on May the 4th, because I guess they always have a game that day. And they will be, if you're watching the video, you can see the new jersey. It says New Jersey. Their new baseball jerseys. It says the Red Wings on it, but it is a picture of Wicket standing among the trees of Endor and the unfinished Death Stars floating behind, So if you are a fan of the Red Wings and a fan of Star Wars, you should go to that game and get this. Oh, no, sorry. They're not giving out the game. I believe this is what they had last year. They are auctioning off these shirts for charity. So if you want to help a good cause and you want a sweet Blue Jays baseball jersey, check it out. I do not have the web thing, but just search Red Wings charity, what have you. I bring up the Blue Jays because I work for them, and they are finally going to have their own Star Wars Day, and I am super psyched. That'll be in September, and they're giving out R2D toques. So expect me to be wearing it on the show at some point.
And you're going to get me one.
Oh, for sure. Next story.
Oops.
Daisy Ridley needs a break. She has been shooting a lot of movies since her first role in Force Awakens, and she's decided to take the rest of the year off. Just kicking it. And she's gonna go to summer camp, and she's gonna play like hopscotch and dodgeball. She's gonna make a cool friendship bracelet. But she will be back because Star Wars Episode 9, The Return of the Jujubes, will be shooting at the end of the year. That is not the title.
It's not?
No. So yeah, she's taking a break. Good for her. And this one I actually have to go to the next story. Oh.
I love this
I need a quote. Mr. Mark Hamill is at it again. Ribbing everybody. So, he was in an interview, I believe. Well, was it last week? He finally got his star on the Walk of Fame.
We should have talked about that.
We should have, but we're not very good at what we do. So
we were in between things. That was the problem.
He's probably been interviewed a lot in the last couple of weeks, and one of the things he was asked is like, "Where do you think Luke went when he disappears?" Spoilers at the end of Last Jedi. And we all know when you become one with the Force, you just sort of evaporate. And Mark Hamill was asked that, and he said, "I refuse to believe that he's gone. My theory is just teleported to somewhere else and left his robe behind. He teleported to a nudist colony. That's what I'm hoping." Oh, Mark Hamill, you sly dog.
Could you imagine if that's how 9 starts?
It's like, but he also says it's nice. But that's not why you do a movie like Star Wars. You do it for the passion, and that's why you should do it. Not because you think it's going to win lots of awards. So he was referencing his getting his star on the Walk of Fame, and if there's any possible awards in his future. But the Oscars just happened, and there was almost no mention of Star Wars besides the usual effects and music.
I was watching, like I said, I was watching it last night on our next story. And he's really good in The Last Jedi.
Oh, yeah. I would argue one of his best. But
not as good as Cockknocker.
But yes, saying. And the biggest news story of the day, the digital copy of Last Jedi is out. James has it.
I'm watching it right now.
He's watching it right now. He is terribly bad at YouTubing. But yeah, it's out. So go get it. I don't know... why anyone listening to this wouldn't have known it's out, but yeah. I mean, I didn't get my copy because I didn't order it, but I should, and I will. Yeah. A lot of fun stuff. So that has been Hollow News, the news you need to know. Oh, that's a good catch. Did you just randomly put that on there?
That was where I stopped watching it.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, we are going to get flagged.
No, because that's not actual audio.
Top 5.
My top 5. It's top 5 Last Jedi moments.
Ooh.
Are we doing book stuff from the book as well?
Nah, let's do movies.
Let's just do movie? All right. Guess what? Hold on. Do you hear that? Praetorian Guard. Bam! Just look at it. Just look at it quickly. Okay, you saw it.
You saw it.
I was like, literally last night. So you get it at midnight when you order. So I pre-ordered it like a year ago.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. They don't charge you until they take it either. So I'm just like,
oh, that's nice. Actually.
I'm waiting. And yeah, because you have right up until like 11:59 to cancel your pre-order. So I pre-ordered it. 12 o'clock hit. I'm like, bam! Nothing.
Yeah, of course not.
So I went on my Apple TV and I went, bam! Nothing. I went on my phone. I'm like, where's the notification? Nothing. I was like, am I gonna have to call Apple right now at 12 o'clock? And Erin has laryngitis, and she's like, shut the bed. And I'm like, no, I need to watch The Last Jedi. And 12:05, bling bling, everything just went nuts, and I was like, shh. No, because I screwed up. I hit download first, so it was like, and then it was like slowing it all down.
I wish I could make the sound of what internet used to sound like with dial-up.
But yeah, that was yeah. So I did that, and then I watched it, and I watched Praetorian Guard scene right away. Then I've been skipping through it, and it's cool though, because if you look, you guys can't see this, but see, look, I can go right to the commentary on the freaking page.
Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah, like that's new. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, we're doing top 5 right now.
This has been working with my tablet.
It's funny. One of the tough things in this was we had a lot of shots.
You don't have to get the Fortis for it.
Is that Rian Johnson?
Yeah.
Through space. Here's Amanda again.
That's funny because he said fast through space, but the whole movie's a slow chase scene. All right, top 5 moments from The Last Jedi.
This chase scene.
The chase scene is number. What's your number 5?
My number 5 is controversial, but I'm putting it in there because it's my top 5. It's not yours. Space Mary Poppins. Not because it's like she survives in space, but I like that you kind of see that she does have some kind of union to the Force in this. I'm not saying she's like, oh, I know how I'll save myself. I'll just make a Force bubble around me and I'll survive. But more importantly, like we see Leia doing something, not just sensing things, which we saw in Return of the Jedi, we saw in Force Awakens. She has some connection to the Force. She can't wield it like Luke can, but she has done some training, and it's referenced in the novelization. But more importantly, I like how she and Kylo can sense each other. So I like that fact, and then that for me that explains everything. She's like, she's sensing Kylo through the Force, therefore she's attuned with the Force right at that moment. And in a sense, Kylo kind of saves her because she's touching the Force right at that moment. If it had been anything, maybe she wouldn't survive. Who knows? I mean, it's Princess Leia because you got to keep her alive. But I like that, and it's also you get to see Kylo fly his TIE fighter prior to that. That's sweet as well.
Yes, and you know from the novelization that he thought about doing it, and then in that moment he didn't feel. Anyway, my number 5, I just had it, will be the first scene with Snoke and Kylo Ren. Kilo
Klein
Kylo
pie.
Ren, when he says, "Take that silly thing, the stupid thing."
That's so good too.
I love that moment because you kind of understand that Kylo Ren's a bitch. It won't be for long.
It also sets the tone for their relationship for the rest of the movie too, and it's like their first conversation in the movie. I'm like, perfect.
Yeah. My number 4, when the caretakers are cleaning up after Rey's mess. Love it.
That was gonna be like an honorable mention for me.
No, that's in my list.
my number 4 is the Battle of Crate. Just seeing those speeder skis going across the salt plains. I mean, the visuals of the white and the red dirt getting kicked up is what sold me on this movie, and it's wonderful. And then how it all plays out, it's very interesting. Yeah, I just like it visually.
My number 3.
Oh, and sorry, and I include the lightsaber fight between Luke and Kylo because Crate is the way it is for that battle. So like you don't see Luke leaving footprints. That's how you know that. Like I like that whole concept. So that's it. Go ahead.
Number 3, Luke milking the no. Number 3 is porgs.
Porgs.
Which porg part should I put in there?
The
window smacking, or when they hit the window when he's flying, or when they jump on the lightsaber and almost got killed. And we were all like, and don't lie to me. We were all like this. Shut up. Or when Chewie's trying to eat the porgs. Look, there is a moment of porgs. I can't. Every time a porg is on screen, I smile, and I get taken back to December when I watched it. And brought your number 3.
My number 3 is the return of Master Yoda and the blowing up of the tree. Like I just love that, and I feel like Yoda should be like some kind of avenue to explain the Force, where he could be like, no, okay, I'm gonna talk to you like normal people. This is what we've been doing wrong the whole time, right? Because you always feel like Yoda knows way more than he's actually letting on, and because he's like, well, I have to let you get to where you're going. So yeah, I would love that, and that just sort of that scene fuels it even more, where it's like, the books are the books. Who cares? It's about now. So.
Are you done?
Yeah.
My number 2. Porgs. My number 2 is actually Luke Skywalker and R2D2
Toa.
in the Millennium Falcon. And they have a callback to A New Hope and where it all began. And it's a really nice moment. And I want more R2 in these movies because I love R2. But that's as good an R2 moment as we get anyway. So that's my number 2.
My number 2 is the Snoke's throne room lightsaber battle. It's just great. I would argue it's one of the best. I know, one of the best of the franchise, just because it showed two types of lightsaber fighting, where like Rey's not really trained to use it. She's just sort of wielding it like she would wield her staff on Jakku, while Kylo is more like restrained and like figured out. I was like, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that. And I like that. It's just visually, it's cool with all the red too, and yeah, Praetorian Guards, right?
It's fantastic. There's always something a bit trying to get a little bit.
It's like listening to golf.
My number 1 scene is the Praetorian Guard scene. No surprise there. I love Praetorian Guards. I love everything that happens in the scene. I love Snoke's death. I don't love that we don't know much about him, but I love his death.
Yeah.
And oh my god, look at that freeze frame. That was not even on purpose. Look at that. I just rewound it. Look how cool that is.
Yeah.
I love Star Wars. That's why we do the show.
My number 1 is the opening with Poe Dameron making a run on the Death Dreadnought. Fantastic. So good. It should just be about X-Wing pilots. No, I love that. It was great. And it's a lot of fun. It's just as good in the book too. Like, I never realized he called them General Hugs, not Hugs. So yeah. Poe Dameron.
That's our top 5 Last Jedi moments. Guys, let us know what your top 5 are. This is 85 weeks.
Wow.
Of Rebel Scum. That's insane. Thank you so much for welcoming us into your lives for this last hour or so, a little bit under an hour.
Yeah.
It means a lot to us that you continue to watch us, that you continue to like us and subscribe to us, and then hate us when we say that Disney's smart. But
yeah.
But it is what it is. We do this because we like Star Wars, and we love how much you guys love Star Wars, and those comments are usually pretty awesome.
Yep. And check us out on
iTunes?
Patreon, of course.
Oh,
we
yeah.
don't usually we didn't start a show with it, but like,
because we announced our winner, Zach Kaufman.
Yeah, he wins, but we still want people to.
For $1, we have different tiers on Patreon. Go check that out. That really helps us out a lot, because we look. Brock buys all this.
Yeah,
but now he can't afford it.
I got kids to feed on.
But it helps us with the equipment, with the quality of the show, and being able to do more shows going forward. Yeah. So thank you so much for everybody that has contributed on Patreon. There's a link in the description down below, but it's patreon.com/RebelScumPodcast. Pretty easy to find. It's a long title, but it's easy to find nonetheless. 85 weeks of this. Unbelievable.
Amazing.
Thank you all so much once again. Brock, thanks for being here. And you were always scum.
I live here like I have to be here. Rebel Scum.
Hey scumbags, thanks for watching. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up on our video. As always, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Rebel Scum Podcast, for all the latest videos.